All right, hello, Aquariuses. Aquariuses, this is your fourth monthly message for this end of April energy into May. Thank you guys all so very much. I open up all the monthlies for the energy of Aquarius, so this can apply for rising sign, moon sign, Venus, and so on and so forth. And interesting enough, in your third video, so in the description box, I will link in those previous messages. Please use your own discernment. This will not apply for all Aquarians, right? So you can also check out your rising sign, moon sign, Venus, so on and so forth. And beautifully enough, the ending of your third video, I felt guided to bring in the Alchemy. And I was like, the only other zodiac sign that I did for this April, May monthlies was Scorpio. And ironically, I got a lot of Scorpio energy, a little bit of Sag, Libra, and Capricorn. So this could be more relevant if you have that in your chart, you're dealing with them. Okay, guys? It was so crazy because I was like, oh, I took a break. Now we are going to dig deep into some other stuff. It is 4:21 as I am doing this video for you guys. So thank you guys all so much. Some of the energy could be past, right, from April, but I'm kind of getting that we're moving forth into what's coming up into May for you guys. And please also keep in mind, I am going to do a full May monthly on top of this later on in the future. And we're going to be working with mushrooms. Yeah. When the Taurus season, well, we are full in Taurus season right now, but when I unveil their fun stuff for their birthdays, they'll return. Okay. We talk about religion and spirituality. And so keep that in mind. Ironically, I did also see that today is actually the 21st is actually an anniversary of the passing away of Prince. Okay, so musicians pulling in. He's a Gemini 6-7. It's back in 2016. And I didn't even, so a few of his songs were spotlighted. Maybe somebody is a Prince fan or something like this. But the spiritual religious beliefs that it pulls in what I almost said Jewish, but no, it pulls in Jehovah's Witness. So I also spoke about Easter because we just had Easter, right? And the scripture of let no one judge you by your food or drink, right? And this goes in all different areas, right? So there are, and we can even think of I think Buddhist, maybe some Hindu beliefs are very vegan or vegetarian, right? It's the same thing there. All right. So either or, it doesn't really matter. If you're choosing that, as your lifestyle, that's your choice. But we shouldn't be judging other people because they choose to drink tea or coffee or eat meat or not eat meat. Okay, that's all I have to say about that. So it could be that this spiritual charlatan, I don't know, has some interlinks with that. The Prince song is 7. All 7 and we'll watch them fall. They stand in the way of love and they will smoke them all. Something like that. I don't know. I also get 1999. Someone could be born in 1999. You had 77 there. And ironically, 48 was really spotlighted. Scorpio. 1108, Scorpio. I was getting 1112. 1101, 1102. And so mainly I was getting some, what was I getting here? Mainly I was definitely getting November. However, as far as Capricorn energy, I saw 1228 spotlighted. And then Libra energy, I saw 1021, that shift energy. I did see 1120. As far as Sagittarian, I saw 1125, 1126, 1124. And I did see 722, Leo energy. Okay. Maybe this is tuning in more to the Venus energy. I don't know. I just felt guided to give you guys this before we jump into. So we are breaking down and we are clearing out some of this energy with the tea. Okay, there is betrayal there with a spiritual charlatan, so keep that in mind. And for these monthlies, it was saying that there is going to be karmic retribution, poetic justice, okay, for some stuff that Yeah, so I don't even know what these I don't know, quicksilver, coagulation, and oil of viditrol, okay, was spotlighted in your alchemy. And that's, so I thought how crazy it was, because so far Scorpio was the only other sign that I actually felt guided to bring in the alchemy, okay? Um, Interesting. So there's all these different types of belief systems, right? And we all talk about like star seeds and 144, and I didn't see that for you guys so far right now, but the 144,000. And now it's really twisted because they're also like, they don't celebrate. I wonder if they even celebrate Easter. I don't know, but no birthdays, no Christmas, no blood transfusions. There is something, I mean, I've done a lot of studies. I used to actually really like them. Like, well, and it's not that I don't have anything against them. I've never, but I'm not, with my own spiritual journey and seeking and stuff like this, it's more been like, if I can't agree with it 100%, I'm not going to label myself as that. Okay? In certain aspects. And some of this stuff, if you do the deep diving and you really research, I don't believe it. They changed timelines. I don't believe in, and that's my personal opinion, my personal prerogative. And so we're all given that free will, that free choice. Okay. But with the alchemy, so the last cards that I unveiled, there was some fake love, okay, some fraud energy, okay, but then there was someone collaborating and working with. So it's like, even if you've dealt with some of this energy, the way to move through it is with collaboration, your creativity, and what brings your heart love. Okay, so we're moving into, you had like 3 of Pentacles. Someone could be 31 that was spotlighted, but I am getting 48 a lot with this one. Okay, it's weird because I almost see veneers here, like veneers, like that's something that covers your teeth, right? The veneers. So there's this Venus energy is about beauty, art, right? Wealth as well. Rulers are, yeah, of course, the Libra energy and the Taurus. So interesting. I'm gonna read what these have to say. This is by Kim Kronz. I mean, I don't even know why I'm giving it to you. That's part of the trusting my intuition. Someone was trying to block someone financially, and it is a spiritual charlatan. Okay, they might have been trying to make some false promises, or tell you if you donate to their ministry or give them money, they can do something. And they're not in a kind and generous. They're more about themselves. We can look at a lot of these ministries that are like very wealthy. Huh? Oh, actually, there was a movie that was recommended and I still have not watched it. It had something to do with gemstone or something. It's on Hulu. We were trying and my husband was getting pissed off at Hulu. Anyways, about some of these type of belief systems. Anyways, and I'm sure that there's other people who can look at this and say, oh, that's all woo woo. Yeah, I've had people say that, like, oh, you work with crystals for energy healing. Oh, you do these type of things. Like they can in their sense think that that's all manipulation or whatever. But I'm not taking anybody's money either. Like, and I'm not asking for money and donations for promises, right? And I'm not against people that should be paid for their craft and their skill. So there is this, I mean, this person's a betrayer. That it's the final straw. And maybe this is future energy, but it's definitely going to be somebody that you've dealt with before and you're just done, okay? Let's see. So I love this, the Wild Unknown Alchemy. This is one of my, especially when you're, a little more advanced. This is getting a little more advanced in your quest for transmutation, transformation. alchemizing things, understanding, taking something that seems negative or, you know, that you know, a bad experience, and then finding something beautiful. And musicians often do that as well. Artists do it as well. You know, anyways, let me see what this has to say. The physical and the mystical, the alchemy. All right, we're opening it up. 1/8, the 18th, someone being 18 also. So this is what's being spotlighted. Alchemy is the merging of the physical and the mystical into one. How interesting. The alchemy, like the great mystic traditions of art, music, and poetry, defies definition. Even the most earnest attempt will fall short in encompassing the spirit of the discipline that shrouds itself in mystery and resists the constraint of language. That said, in order to bolster our confidence in approaching such a daunting subject as alchemy, I offer you a simple yet ever reliable definition. Alchemy is the perspective that everything physical, and I mean everything, has a corresponding resonance in the mystical realm. In other words, the sacred, the mystical, and the mundane, the physical, are not separate, but rather they are inextricably linked through their pairing. The imagination is activated, allowing innate wisdom to express itself through symbol, image, language, and operation. Every process and sensation is given its rightful place in the laboratory of our attention. Through observing the symbols and images produced by an alchemical perspective, we begin to weave together the physical and mystical aspects of our lives. Alchemy is the science of poetic revelation. The study of alchemy unfolds one golden petal at a time. The cosmic rose awaits. Oh, this is 28, 2/8. Maybe this is on the 28th. This is going for, like, 4/28 is after we've had that new moon, the new flower moon. So that's coming up in a week from when I'm doing this. Or someone could be 28 or 2/8 Aquarius. Yeah, no way. It's so fascinating because as we move into that Taurus energy, Scorpio, the opposite, really comes into play as well. So that full moon is going to be the full strawberry moon in Scorpio for May. Weird. Okay. The cosmic rose awaits. Approach it with reverence and you will have great success. Okay, that's what we open it up for. Okay. This is definitely one of my favorite. It is very different. In fact, I just gave it as a gift. Okay. I want to see. I feel like this is going to be potentially you and them, a relationship message with the 4 cards here that I felt guided to get out. The 4 colors, the 4 cards. And I have the color shifting with my moon here from this deep purple to this ethereal blue to the orange red. And then it's fading down and shifting. The 4 colors shifting. So the 4 seasons, the 11 cosmic forces. Yes, I was getting someone being 11 or the 11th being spotlighted or something like that. 211. I did see 215, 2 Aquarius, and 213. Okay. The 8. This is such a neat deck. Okay. We are doing, because I got it told. So in your cards, I see the green. And I was definitely saying, I was seeing green, a lime green color. And then we got the yellow, the oil of vitriol. So 10, 20, 35. Now these 2 came up sideways as well. And so there's reference to that. And the fact that it talks about the symbols, right? And we're working also with the symbol oracle, the Antiquity of Magic guidebook. So let's see. Less or more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The Doors of Wisdom, a 4-card reading. That's what you're getting. Okay, here we go. Grabbing the book for this guidance, 68 and 69. The Door of Initiation. This is the first step to take. It must be done before everything else, even if you would rather avoid it. This card may remind you of a person, a situation, a memory, or a dream. Number 1 is the initiation, and it is Venus. If I had to pick one, and thankfully I don't, my favorite axiom of alchemy might be one door opens the next. The wisdom in this simple teaching is profound and services my daily life. This spread is based on the concept of taking necessary steps one at a time. Use it when you're feeling stuck or don't know what steps to take next. The requirement for this spread is that you must be willing to trust your first thought from the card. It will not work unless you trust your intuition. And it's weird because I was like, I got veneers, but I also see copper. And I also see turquoise. And I see the hand, the palm. 4, okay. 50. I'm looking at the Roman numerals here. And we have number 4. Venus in your 4th house. I'm getting a lot about your 4th house or your home, your roots, your ancestry. Okay. 10, 20, 24, 50, 424, Taurus. Let me see. 5, 6, 66, coagulation. Taking action, having faith, quicksilver, and oil of vitriol. I don't know. So the first door, we must work with Venus energy first, because something is trying to block finances, inability. Venus is the ruler of wealth as well, the goddess. Okay, Venus, number 4. Okay. And card rotation. Yeah, I am seeing we have those 2, that the card rotation is different. Taking action and having faith, also surrendering. Okay. Ultimately, it is up to you whether or not to integrate card rotation and its implications into your readings. I would like to mention, however, that learning to ice skate forward must be mastered before you having success with ice skating backwards. The same learning card applies here. Unless you are confident with the card in its upright position, it is unlikely you'll be able to glean much meaning from the card being tilted. I suggest beginners read cards as if they were all upright. And experiment once a level of confidence is established. So I think of coagulation, and I think of something like the blood, okay? And like our blood cells coagulating. And it shows it becoming a ball, a group, right? The quicksilver. So I don't know. I'm just going to deliver the information I'm going to read out of the book as well. There's definitely Virgo energy and Cancer sign. 77 is there again, and 76. Okay. Or being born in that year. Okay. So let's go first to Venus. Pleasure, Eros, and beauty. Okay. 89. To go deeper, you need to recall the last piece of art that moved you. And revisit now. So think of the last piece of art that moved you. I'm just thinking. I like a lot of Vladimir Kush, as well as Salvador Dali. You'll know when Venus has gone awry. The senses lead us toward excessive actions not congruent with our heart. It's likely we'll regret it the next day, right? And there is someone who is going to regret something. some actions that were taken. To get Venus, get physical. Break open your paint set or pick up an old instrument. Get your hands dirty. Don't do it to achieve something. Do it for experience. See, and what I share on my channel with my art as well, and just pouring paint and doing that has been something that I don't, none of these are for sale. And it's not, I'm not doing it in that aspect. And it kind of actually relieves some pressure when you're doing something, just so it needs to be just this creative thing, whether it is, yeah, it's telling you to get that creative juices flowing. With the arrival of Venus, the senses open as if for the first time. It is the planet of pleasure, of touch, of sensual delights. Venus is often depicted as romance or eroticism between people, but it can also be experienced as an all-out love affair with Mother Nature herself. Aphrodite emerging from the ocean is a classic example of Venus imagery, as is Cupid with his bow. No matter how old or jaded you are, when this card appears, it's a sign that attraction is at an all-time high. The laboratory is alight with love. You may be in love with the work, with the materials, with another person, or with the world itself. Seeing beauty in small moments is a sign Venus is in balance, an obligatory reminder that pleasure and pain are usually found intertwined. So, wow. So this is saying, this is the first step that must be done to alchemize this, okay? And then you have that 3 of Pentacles and Ace of Cups right before this. So that was at the ending of that. All right. So if you guys are just tuning in now, that's fine. But you missed some stuff along the journey. But so working with your Venus energy is the first step. I always thought it looked like she had copper there, or turquoise. Now, I was sharing how beautiful 420 was with the rainbows, okay? The flowers, wisteria. I have some wisteria in bloom now, and a freesia, new flowers, like all these beautiful things. So sometimes I do it as well by taking photographs. And the camera was there, spotlighted as well too, or painting, creating. And artistic stuff can be, not just that, sculpting, whatever it is, something like that. So this is being in love with what you're doing. See, I do get this one song. It's by Monster Magnet and Space Lord. Is it Space Lord? I think so. Nah. It's Power Trip. Because it's like, I'm never going to work again in my whole life. The gods told me to relax. They say I'm going to get fixed up fine. And then there's this other song by Dirty Heads called Vacation. And it's, oh, I'm on vacation every single day because I love my occupation. But also, this is just your creative juices flowing. That's the first step. All right, into the next one is your fortune. Door number 2 is the door of fortune. This is the door you will then be led into. Here you will find a new fortune, an interest, or a boon. So this is receiving something, and it's coagulation. I don't know. We're going to find out. So we have L, which I looked up is 50, 10, 5, 6. I'm pretty sure that this is 66 in the numbers, in the numeral. I'm all the Roman numerals. Okay, I open up to Numa. That was one that was given to the Scorpios. I see the blood. It was a lot about breathing, too. The Raven's Head and the Pearl. Okay. Okay, we're getting closer to the Red and White Rose. someone was trying to go against nature, and the other one, there was a contrast. Okay. Apologize for the delay as I'm 15. We're getting closer. 66. Oh, the magnum opus, the great work. The operations and cards. Wow, we're going deep. This coagulation is one of the last cards. 223 and 222. So maybe some Pisces energy as well, or something about that. The sculptures. Coagulation, solidity, adherence, and stuckness. So this is the boon, or something, the fortune. Go deeper. Look at the sculptures of Louis Nevelson, or Louis. I think it's Louis. Lois. I don't know. Louise. Nevelson. I have no clue who that is. So, a sculpture. To ponder, merging into traffic. Coagulatio is the great alchemical operation of Earth. By way of this operation, we experience that which was fluid churning into a solid form. The formerly disparate ingredients begin adhering together into a fixed and a solid unit. The result is visible, reliable, and eventually concrete. When you hear the phrase, "it finally takes shape," coagulation is underway. The shadow aspect of coagulatio is that the elements may have come together without much awareness, and in turn, they become unconsciously attached. Inertia and resentment set in. The parts can no longer separate, even if they wish to. Many long-term relationships have coagulatio aspects, a naturally occurring codependency by which both parties feel unseen or unknown as individuals. The work of coagio is to experience the merging with other while not losing oneself in the mush. Okay, so this is also not losing yourself, right? Still being a sovereign, independent entity, okay? Sulfur and lead are agents of coagulatio. Take note if these cards appear in the same reading, as it would indicate an advanced state of stuckness. So they're not there, although sulfur does have this yellow color. I don't see lead. We have oil vitriol that looks like golden energy from quicksilver. And we also have, it says, when this card appears, the alchemist must discern whether the earth element is helping or hindering the work. Is the attachment one of benevolence or convenience? Okay, and the earth energy. So I even said Virgo energy was there in the beginning in other videos, okay, in your last one. And there was Capricorn in this one, or Taurus as well. So that's the earth energy. Are they helping or hindering? And you do have a King of Pentacles. We're going to get to that. What else do I have? So there was someone else who someone was so attached to someone else, because there is this chain, that it was making them unable to create and manifest on their own. Okay. This pathway, there was something with the body or the spirit, an empty vessel. Someone could be, because the house in reverse. Okay. I don't know. I'm just reading it. We're learning this together as well. Number 3 is the resistance. Okay. So we can also see this coagulation or coagulatio as something about, working with others, because that 3 of Pentacles was with working with others. It could be working with spirit, working with, our ancestors, our higher self, or other humans, right? To create something beautiful. It's like all 3 of them are putting a piece into it. Even if you're just doing it on your own, this creative venture or whatever art type craft, It's still working with maybe you're working with 3 different mediums, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm not talking just mediumship, but I'm saying like we have the canvas, and then we have the 3 different colors, we have the different paints. You could have you know, a heat gun or something, or water. So if we're doing clay or sculpture or something, you're working with water, and you're working with earth, and you're working with velocity and like the air. Something like this. Weird. I'm the symbol, the hexagon, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Is that a? That's not a hex. I'm like, is that a hexagon? I'm trying to remember the shapes and stuff, right? Okay. Now, Quicksilver, as we go forward, Quicksilver is part of this resistance to something, but it is like shifting, having faith and letting go and trusting into with God. Someone is trying to resist this. 69. This is a new depth that will challenge your ego. And your willingness to continue. This is ultimately why you may hesitate to take the step card in 1. The very first one. So it could be that someone feels like they have blocked their own finances, or someone else is blocking somebody's finances, or feeling like they don't have enough money to spend on these types of crafts. If you're not making something that you can turn around and sell and make money on, and it's asking you to do it without any type of desire for that. A hard pill to swallow. Something painful to accept as well. That somebody is deceptive. Although they act very spiritual or religious, okay? We are going to dive deep into some stuff over here, okay? This is also that somebody was very highly sexual conquest. Okay. So let's see what Quicksilver. Now this is 1024, maybe at 24 or 24. Let's go to 24. Quicksilver's also, I can't even speak. Also argentum, vivum, argentum vivum. Quicksilver, slippery, mobile, Mercury. Mercury, to ponder the power of a secret. Oh boy. I'm getting some Aries, Gemini, Leo energy with this as well. Part liquid and part metal. Quicksilver is also known as Mercury. Weird, because I brought up veneers. So I'm getting stuff about the teeth and stuff, right? And veneers are like veneers to me are like a fingernail, like a fake nail, but going over your teeth. So it is, to cover. And then Mercury is something that they used to use in in fillings and stuff. It's also, it was used in thermometers. And we have learned that it is toxic and poisonous, for our physical bodies. Okay. Now this is the resistance. Also surrendering and having faith. Okay, so I can't even speak. What is going on? Yeah, maybe that's part of the issue. Some communication issues. As mesmerizing material, its gift is to slip between the worlds. It cannot be pinned down or easily defined. Mercury came to symbolize the god Hermes and the great hermetic secrets of alchemy, always sliding away into secrecy. Just beyond the alchemist's grasp, it is said Mercury represents the transition between the physical and the unseen worlds, between life and death, between science and the esoteric. It is the metal of sacred thresholds. Shamanic practitioners of every tradition must acquire the ability to stand at the doorway between worlds. This is no small feat. The Mercury card indicates the querent has a particular gift for such a task. This is the work of the shaman, the teacher, the sage, the artist, and the alchemist. Heed the call of Quicksilver. The sacred threshold requires your attendance. More about Mercury. How interesting. There's this song. I think it's by Perfect Circle, or is it Puff Silver? It's one of Maynard's, and I brought up Maynard because he had his birthday celebration this month. And there's a song that says, "Moving in and out of the shadows is no easy task. Remembering you," or something. How you moving in and out of the shadows. James. Let's see. How interesting. Okay, I'm trying to remember which song is it? It's By and Down the River. I think it's Pussifer. By and Down the River. Go deeper by reading the book of poetry, Mercury, by Ariana Reines. Reines. I don't know these ones either. So, I mean, use your own discernment. If that's something you want to look into, it says to go deeper, understanding this. Okay. In esoteric wisdom traditions, Quicksilver and Mercury are associated with the lungs. It is no surprise that the shaman is a lifelong student of the breath. If you're attracted to shamanic work, find a trusted teacher who can guide the way. Be discerning in your choice. Alchemy reminds us you cannot transmit what you haven't got. This is the resistance. So, the shamanistic. Hesitation. Because this requires having faith. Number 4 is the destination. The door of destination. This is a vision of the future. Okay? Something feels bitter. It's a hard pill to swallow. Maybe this is what someone feels like. Maybe they're finding somebody that's similar, or they're acting that way, or this is a different type of a charlatan, spiritual guru. Maybe they're acting like they have these abilities, or it's someone highly religious who looks down upon this type of belief system or healing modality or teaching. This is the vision. So the door of the destination, oil of vitriol. Okay, this is the vision of the future possibility. It may be hard to relate to this card now, but eventually, as you take the steps towards it, more will come into focus. For now, it remains elusive and waiting for you. So 35. Come on, where is 35? 25, then 35. Wow, so some of you could be younger or something in the future energy of 35. 25 to 35. Margarita. Okay, let's have a margarita. That could be someone's name too, but I just turned the page to that. Now, the thing that someone isn't also understanding or seeing, this 80, okay? Now, this is where there was intimidation tactics causing worry and fear. Someone could be born in 80, 73, okay? This is about pills as well. Deceitful, 90, liar, a train ride, been around, sexual conquest, runaway, and take several seats. This person is annoying. They get on your nerves. Now, this does make me think of some people who I know that, like, because they are deceptive. I feel like you're going to find out that this person has a lot of secrets that They don't want people knowing, because as we get there is someone who's extremely intoxicated. Crunk is what it says. Crazy drunk, pills, mixing, just, you know, to the extent that they're not clear-headed. Escapism, things like this. They've opened their vessel up. They're not, their body is their temple, but they're not taking care of it. With that house in reverse. Now let's see what this oil of vitriol is. This is future into the aethers, into the void. Okay, 35, we're getting closer. Because the breath is actually 36. It comes right after this. And Numa, inspiration. All right, wake up, child. You're getting Numa by Tool with Danny, Carrie, right? Justin, Adam, and Maynard. Wake up, child. I feel like that was, so that's understanding that as well. The breath work and the lungs, those are part of the shaman's toolbox, understand? And I do share that with things. I shared that with one of the songs with a holotropic breath and sound, a rebirthing. So this is acidity, resentment, and purification. Oh, acidity. Resentment. The green lion. Ooh, so when the green lion appears, a great alchemical reckoning is afoot. Ah, reckoning. Radiohead and reckoning. Long-standing frustration and imbalance cause this regal creature to lash out unconsciously, consuming all in its path. Be prepared for emotional turmoil as the lion thrashes about. Don't worry, these changes are necessary for growth, and in the end will be a relief to all. Purification is the lion's aim, and it's determined to get there one way or another. When this card appears, the question must be asked, am I the green lion or the sun? Weird, because there was also that lion under there with intimidation tactics. Look up the images of the green lion eating the sun. I'm getting Aries, Leo, Libra energy. In alchemical texts, this great creature of change is known as the green lion eating the sun. Vitriol is an incredible acidic and corrosive substance, and so it comes with a few warnings. Don't overconsume. Don't lash out. Breathe and wait. No need to add insult to injury. So the bitterness is this acidity, okay? So when we're trying to, so if you're trying to eat more mindfully, you know, and pay attention to the pH of your body and stuff, the acidity is detrimental. So the finding out about some deception as well and stuff like this, I don't know. I'm going to have to look up the picture of the green lion eating the sun. So you need to decide whether this is I get music all the time. So I get Alice Martin and Lash Out. It's not like me to lash out. You guys also had the tree uprooted or the tree flipped over. And it makes me think of that song in Alice Martin as well. And I've got no roots. So there's a warning to stay calm with this. The lion's aim is purification. But there's that resentment. They're bitter. How is this future energy? Oof. Okay. So this is even maybe a warning. Breathe. Don't lash out. The door of the destination. This is the vision of the future possibility at this stage. This is where the energy is taking. It may be hard to relate to this card now, but eventually, as you take the steps towards it, more will come into focus. For now, it remains elusive and waiting for you. 69. 69 Geminis as well. Virgo, Sag, energy. Okay, as we go. It's determined to get there one way or another. I get like the Pretenders too. One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you, get you, get you. Be prepared for emotional turmoil as the lion thrashes about. So this person's going to like have quite a little embarrassment. When this card appears, it must be asked, are you the green lion or the sun, the one consuming or being consumed? Are you the one consuming this? Or are you the one being consumed? It is said that finding oneself in the mouth of the lion is a necessary moment for on any spiritual path. As the discomfort passes, the sun beams shine all the brighter. The sun's beams shine all the brighter. Oh wow. So let's jump into the rest of these cards now. Wow, Aquarius is. Now here we go. This is what we're finding out. A spiritual charlatan, okay? Aries, Leo, Scorpio, Sag. Why am I saying that? And Cancer sign. This could be someone in your family, your home, your roots. Or in your career sector, if this is something you do. So this was something blocking finances, a spiritual charlatan. Okay, but there was also, I'm going to reiterate, that there was, if you get this opportunity to travel somewhere, there may be something there for you, like a wonderful opportunity. Okay, because this is good stuff coming in. 710, maybe it's during that time. You have the Chariot and the Wheel of Fortune coming in. So this is movement. It's about the divine timing of things. This is good karma. This is good fortune. Maybe there's a new trip or a new vehicle, a new car. Okay, coming in. You have Nine of Wands in reverse. So someone is also, it may be that someone is not feeling, they're not protected, or they're not protecting themselves. Nine of Wands in reverse. And then the Ten of Swords, 9-10. So I'm definitely getting, now it could be either or, right? It could be some Virgo, Cancer sign. Yeah. I'm getting Virgo, Cancer sign, or any of those others. And then the pillar and the support system. It's finding out that someone is a betrayer. So on this trip, on this move, or something you're going, it may then be revealed that this pillar of the community, they were not supportive. The pillars were upside down when they came out. So let's start with this. The Antiquities of Magic Oracle and the Pillar. These give us higher guidance. Okay. So maybe it has something to do with traveling somewhere, going somewhere to see art, right? It even said when were you last, moved by a piece of art, whether it be music, whether it be visual, okay, or sculpture, and I share a lot of different places like Chihuly, the Chihuly Glass Garden. That's an amazing, or something like that, or there's a lot of beautiful places, or traveling somewhere to see these things or to create this. So this is also trusting your intuition. Maybe it has to do with in the future, in July, okay? I don't know. Somehow it's interlinked with the spiritual charlatan. So maybe there's someone who travels around all the time doing these things, or maybe these are people who go to door even. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. I see the 80 there in innocence again too. Okay, well, let's see this pillar. Ironically, they might come off like they are this pillar of the community, but you have a chain, which is the devil. They have a connection to the devil. Ironically, I did hear the Rolling Stones song with Mick Jagger and Keith, right? And Sympathy for the Devil. So it could be exactly what I was saying as well, a bondage or a restriction, withheld, an attachment. I'm looking at the chain and something about the 38. So the person who's 38 or 38, 39. And we all know, so the devil energy represents something that someone is trying to control someone with fear. Okay. A temptation, addiction, lust, something like this. And I do see lust underneath here. Okay, now, like I said, we are breaking this down. I already read all of this in your first and your second video. So if you did not listen to this, now we are going through piece by piece and breaking it down and getting the higher guidance of it. Okay, because underneath here, there is a secret affair. That's why, yeah, a secret and naughty affair. And that is part of the attachment to the devil energy that this person is doing, this spiritual charlatan. Okay? Because that's what the chain is. So there is someone who has placed themselves on a fucking pedestal. And they could be somebody who is seen and they travel places and they're traveling somewhere and having an affair. And that's the betrayal. Okay? Damn. Oh, which leads to an ending. Okay, wow, we're even talking about, you know, true crime stuff where these types of things, then they transpire and they, people try and you know, off another person in the life for life insurance or out of vengeance, out of anger. And that is why I bring up people like Chad Daybell, and he's a Leo, and the Cancer sign of Lori, okay? Because they were doing that. They killed their spouses, whether they used it as self-defense, saying this is a spiritual charlatan, doomsday prophet, and he was trying to get, and they had a naughty affair. That is, and they proclaim themselves as holier than thou. And in those dynamics, I'm pretty sure they weren't on drugs or pills or alcohol, but I don't know. Oh, and so both of their spouses, Tammy was a Taurus and Charles is a Leo. And then we have Tyree, Libra. Tylee Ryan. And JJ's a Gemini. I don't know why I'm bringing all this up, but those are examples, okay? We can look to, there's so many different ones like this. That's the betrayal. Ten of Swords can be a painful ending. Ten of Swords can be somebody, you know, plotting and planning an ending. And in their dynamic, they were saying, oh, these people, oh, they're possessed by a demon. They're possessed by they're zombies. Like, that's what they were saying. In that little weird, twisted belief system. Okay, that's why I'm just, because the chain is still there. It's also a chain reaction. And the coffin is showing up right after this. It's like I can't get to this pillar. It's like they are running. It's like they run away. I get it, like they're a grifter. Do you know what I mean? Or like, that's why they're a spiritual charlatan. Like olden days, like a snake oil freaking salesperson. They're not a support system, or they no longer support, or something like that. They're not supportive. They're a cheater. There's a secret affair. Disloyalty. And I even bring up Joseph Smith Jr. because it was the same fucking thing. But he wanted to justify his evil and say it was divinely guided. So that's why I can't. I can't. I just can't, okay? All right. Okay, horse is right there too. It's like I can find all of this is action. Even taking it slow and steady. But the house is in reverse. So there's an empty vessel. The spirit is gone in that house. Maybe someone is thinking they have a vengeful spirit in their house from a past. I don't know. We got something going on. Maybe they're coming into like, because there's a pathway and a passage. This is a connection from the coffin to the house. This could be like ghost hunters. Okay, we can bring that one up too. Like the guy, what's his name on that show? Finding out that his spouse was planning and plotting a murder for hire. Why do they do this? It's not because oh, their religion frowns upon divorce. No, it's because it's about greed and money. Because divorce, you know, costs money, you lose money. No life insurance, legacy broken. It's always about greed. And you see it clearly when you listen to their videos or their phone calls, because immediately they're looking for life insurance. And Charles Vallow was sold life insurance. I don't know why I'm talking about this, honestly, other than that it shows an example of what I'm seeing here. And this is why they're a spiritual charlatan. Because they're, look, I mean, it's a skeleton, so their focus is on death. Okay? And then them taking. The song Reckoning by Radiohead is the reminder that you can't take it with you when you go. There's a key there. Okay, support. This person is not supportive. They're not part of your support system. Or these pillars are going to crumble. Because it does show different things here. Okay. Come on, pillars. Like I said, I'm having a real hard time finding it in the book. And I think that I see that as symbology as well. Symbolically. This person is veiled. Okay. Or they're trying to veil themselves. This is through the veil, looking through the veil. 96, 97. So those could be ages, pass on loved ones even. Someone could be born in 96, 97. A Virgo, also Sag and Libra energy. Duality, support, merging. This is the High Priestess card. So it was in reverse. So this is also representing of the High Priestess in reverse. And the High Priestess in reverse does come in over here somewhere. That to me is somebody who truly doesn't believe. They're not truly divinely connected to their higher self or to divinity. Okay? Or this is somebody who portrays themselves that way and then gossips and smear campaigns and slanders. And they're a hypocrite. Projecting that somebody else. So often they're projecting, pointing fingers at others. Oh, look what they're doing. Look what they're doing. And in the meantime, they're trying to keep all of their secrets hidden. Guilty, filthy soul. And the Hierophant and the High Priestess. Justice, the Moon, and Three of Pentacles. Wow. So, how interesting. Like I said, this is definitely continued on from your third message. All right, pillars represent a sacred access point that connects or divides the earthly realms from the heavens or spiritual realms. They act as a sacred portal. I actually got Larimar Sound Alchemy and opening the portal as well for you guys. Pillars are symbolic of stability, strength, standing strong, firmness, and support. When there are two pillars together, they represent the duality and opposites in life: sun versus moon, earth versus sky, man versus woman, good versus evil, love versus fear. Between the pillars is the merging points or blending of the duality. You have the ability to bring the duality of your emotions into balance and create a sense of harmony within. This balance drives the direction of your future. When you are clear about what you want and when you believe and you trust, because in reverse, High Priest is saying somebody isn't trusting the red flags of it, or they're not trusting this intuition. They're not trusting, or they're sharing information that is not true. That's like a false prophet energy or smear campaigning. You, okay? It is through this balance you can channel your magic within and hold steady the right vibration that calls in everything you desire. You are the portal that abundance flows through. It is an unstoppable force of energy if you allow it. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself. Do they support your wishes and desires or work against them? Your stability depends on the choices you make. Get grounded within the needs. Know your position and allow things to flow to you. The other thing is understanding that if you're receiving God's divine revelation, information, okay, that you have to open up and surrender. And God does not, it doesn't matter what you look like, how much money you have, what your gender is, what your background is. Okay, it's about if you are open vessel to channel true divinity. And people like this believe they also might want to say, you know, that oh no, only with this ancestry can you have this, or only if you're a man can you hold this priesthood, or only if you have this money can you have this. This is somebody who wants to still put, so we talked about Jesus a bit, and the scriptures there, and how the veil broke, the Pharisees and stuff like this. Like, so with Jesus's crucifixion and all that, there was a divide. So people would have to just go to the Jewish Pharisees. I don't know what else they're called, but to get their divine revelation, you know, because they were the ones who held the scrolls and the scriptures and all of this stuff, right? And so this is somebody who wants to be looked at like they are the only one who can give you this information, instead of you being able to be divinely guided and have a true one-on-one personal connection with divinity and your higher self, your God source, your angels. Okay, that's what I see. They are like, oh, you have to come to me, and you have to pay me money. They're doing something dark. There's a connection to the devil, and not there. It's like there's a connection to, and in that sense, it's about controlling somebody. And you have the magician in reverse. So they could have been messing with some of this stuff, right? Like, and doing some weird, calling on like things that are known to be dark entities, a dark spiritualist, black magic. And when I say it in that sense, it's because they wish evil upon others. They are wishing death and for themselves and glory, and so they don't want their dirty secret, because there is this dirty secret right here, okay, underneath here. And so it's like, So think about it when somebody knows some information about somebody, like a fall guy or somebody. Let's just remove it from the spiritual aspect. Let's say somebody is a drug dealer or something, and they're gonna get in trouble, or they're gonna be caught, but there's a witness. This is kind of reminding me. Weird. Like people going in witness protection because they are a witness to something. And so those people who done some dirty deeds, they're trying to get those people out so that they don't get caught, so they can get away with things. Maybe this has to do a little bit with some Puff Daddy shit even. I don't know. I mean, because we all know that there is whether it be conspiracy theory or not, they portray themselves as doing a lot of dark, evil shit and blood ritual, magic, weird seances, and and they're not doing it for the highest good of all. They're doing it for their glory, for their fame, for their riches. So it is very self-serving. Okay. Weird. What if it's so weird because the Pope died and there's a conspiracy theory that J.D. Vance, the vice president, because he was the last one to see him, and then he died the next day. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? I don't know. Does he? I don't know about that. I feel like he was placed there. I don't know about that. I don't know anything about that. So, but I do know that, that the things were twisted in the Bible, and it does say you're not supposed to worship anything above, false idols. Well, I don't know about you, but it looks to me that most people do, whether they be other human beings or... Anyways, worshiping Mary, worshiping angel. There's a lot of stuff in the Bible that says that you're not supposed to be doing that. So, looks like everyone's a sinner. Oh, right, that's what it says. We are all sinners. However, I don't think I should... never mind, I'm going to hold back. Okay, so... This is reminding you to get grounded. If you need loving support, call upon your guides and ancestors. They are there for you, and their love will help lift you up. All right? Now, where I'm seeing that this is different is this person is not, because it was in reverse. They might have been doing something saying that they are your ancestor or that they're communicating. I get it. I'm doing this in a sense too, but I'm not telling you, oh, this is what's going on. I'm just delivering the information. And it came in reverse. So call upon your ancestors and your spirit guides. Okay? Then you have movement, divine timing, good fortune. But let's find out a little bit more. I feel like that's the thing. When you take this action, you take this trip, maybe when you're out of the way, let's say you go somewhere, and while you're gone, if you're with a person, or you're gonna it's gonna be revealed that there is a secret affair underneath here, and that is temptation. So this spiritual charlatan is not holier than thou. And they do know better, especially if they put themselves to be a mouthpiece of God. You put yourself on that pedestal, you're gonna fall. You have a long way down to fall. Okay, it could be that that's what happens, but it is all part of the divine timing of something, or you're gonna find out about it. Okay, now there's movement and good fortune. So let's keep that in mind. It could also be that this person maybe was also telling you to go have an affair and cheat, because the heart wants what the heart wants. I'm just saying something like this. Like, they could be giving you bad information and telling you, oh yeah, that's your twin flame, so go have an affair with them. I mean, I don't get it. There's different aspects, because this person could also be traveling toward you or moving. And telling someone to betray someone, like, literally, that's what they should do or something. I mean, I don't think so. Okay. Or it happens on a trip or a move or something. Okay, that's what I've got here. All right, let's see. I really need to keep moving with this. Okay, with the Chariot, the number 7 here. Oh, wow. Yeah, so 710 could be really spotlighted, or they could be a Cancer sign doing this, because you also had the Queen and King of Cups in reverse. Being that way, okay? Yeah. When traveling life's path, one must always be attentive to those that have traveled it before. Her strengths are discipline, assertiveness, and determination, qualities essential to a safe journey. 724 Leo could something like on that time as well. I'm also getting 1025 Scorpio. Okay, 2425. The Chariot represents the triumph of the mind. Adversity possibly already overcome. Conflicting influences, turmoil, vengeance, success, escape, fleeing from reality, perplexity, need for supervision. Weird. Okay, and Wheel of Fortune. From a fresh perspective, her destiny is revealed and the old paths walked are left behind. A new goal is set in motion that allows her to see her new path from a different angle. The Wheel of Fortune represents the spirit facing fate, destiny, fortune, outcome, felicity, godsend, special gain, or an unusual loss, result, conclusion, inevitability. So it's seeing that, I mean, especially with those 2 major arcanas coming forth, it's almost like then somebody wasn't, I feel like someone wasn't protective. Like they didn't protect. Or this person is not protected. Or they're not someone that's doing a protection spell or doing protection. They're not taking the action. It also could be that somebody laid down their defenses and allowed this person in, and then they're a betrayal here with the 9 of Wands in reverse and the 10 of Wands. Or excuse me, the 10 of Swords. Okay, 9 of Wands in reverse here says a disaster, adversity, problems, delays, disaster, barriers to overcome, and ill health. Oh my goodness, like I'm just telling you, holy cow. This is a chain reaction. Like, if someone stays on this path, and I think I've said it, you don't have to be a psychic sometimes to see. If someone stays on this path of being deceptive, full of bitter, full of vengeance, full of hatred, wishing bad upon another, trying to control others with fear or lust. I'm getting a lot of lust. I mean, there's drugs here too, so I don't know. Or overdoing things. There's vengeance. Maybe there is a third party. Like, you know, look at the common, there's like common motives for these true crime things we see. Something was put into motion. And then we have the inevitable. This attachment is taking someone straight to their grave. And then we have this connection between the other realms. Ooh, okay. And then that 10 of Swords. If by staying in this fortress of solitude I can prevent any harm coming to you, then I do so gladly. ruin, pain, 10-7, 34, desolation, misfortune, grief, trouble, disappointment. I don't know. This one is tricky, you guys. You guys are really tune in. Make sure you're cleansing and really tuning in to your highest guidance. Because this is tricky. Yeah, isn't it? Huh. I don't trust some Cancer signs. And maybe some of you are a Cancer sign with Aquarius. I mean, we got Cancer Virgo here. I said there was a lot of Scorpio too. I don't trust the Libra at all. And I am a Libra. I'm like, I don't trust that Libra. I don't trust easily at all. I rate, like, oh man. Ugh. Sometimes they're the most sleaziest. Smile on their face, grab it, doing weird tactics. They grab your shoulder. Oh, how are you, brother? Brother this, sister this, blah 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 blah. You know, I went to at my husband's funeral. I had this arrogant person, literally, and my mother-in-law. I just saw her. Oh, ugh. Never mind. I'm just gonna hold it back because I had never, like, I held myself back, but oh my goodness, it fueled me so much. The things that he was saying, how condescending, like, because, you know, once again, about their religion and their spiritual beliefs, the LDS, the Mormons. He was like, oh, he's like, trying to really guilt and fear and make some, like, they have these weird tactics with a fucking smile on their face. Well, if you really love your family, you would get sealed in the temple. What I've learned is these weird rituals they do there are bondage things. So when you are reincarnated, you are breaking these chains, some weird spiritual shit. They're interlinked with the Freemasonry, controlling, secret societies, domineering women and children. They have prejudiced and sexist and racist viewpoints. And what I also, then I started understanding even more, like, because on my husband's side of the family, his family is very much more, like, what's the word I want? They're getting married. They're following all the shit, doing that shit, right? And in my side of the family, only a couple people. I mean, but I did find in my ancestry that I'm the one who has deeper roots in it. And they're all like, there were new converts to the faith. Their parents were converts to the faith. And so that's why it's like it's not quite clicking. Whereas my ancestry actually lived during times where there was polygamy. And that's not love. That's not good parents. And I'm just saying that father with all of his wives, he is not going to be there and be attentive and be loving. He can't. He's divided himself too much that he can't be fully supportive, loving, and nurturing of all these wives and all these children and grandchildren. And it's not just with the LDS stuff. There's a lot of roots and ancestry way back in history, and that is what we are actually trying to evolve out of. And too many people are trying to keep that firm, and I'm pretty sure it's not maybe there's some women who are like, yeah, I just like this. Okay, all right, let's move on. Coagulation. A naughty secret affair. 70. Taking action. Someone could be born then. I don't know. Doesn't, but it could just be about something in your partnership, or maybe at that age. I don't know. What? Surreptitious. Surreptitious. I don't even know that word. New words. I'll look it up. But it must mean a naughty secret affair. Taking action. Ace of Wands. So this has to do with their wand passion, sex, creativity. Ace of Wands regarding sexual energy is about, you know, it can be lusty, but in the beauty of it, it can be about creation, about birth, about conception. 3 of Wands in reverse. 1, 3. So this could happen, oh my, when someone was young, or 13, or the 13th being spelling. No way, it's a young person. I'm sorry, this is not good. Knave of Wands in reverse. The Knave and Magician in reverse. Someone was doing something. See, that's what I'm saying. When we look back at this, like Joseph Smith was like, she was nearly 15. Even like Muhammad had like an 8-year-old. Like, this is some gross stuff. Or this could have happened when you were a teenager. Or something on the 13th. And we have the Devil and attachment. Gross. So these are those weird cult things. I'm going to talk about Warren Jeffson and all of that shit. That's what I'm seeing here. You think that those girls, they were forced. So other women were part of this. What an honor. The prophet wants you to be his wife at 13. What an honor. Ew. Gross. Not an honor. Say no. And so other people in the family, yeah. Other people in the family were guilty as well. And this may be a completely different thing, though. I see it as, I mean, we still see things like this in our day and age as well, right? With groomers. Grooming teenagers. 3 of Wands in reverse. And I'm saying it because we got the Knave of Wands. 413. This is somebody who also lacks passion, lacks ambition, lacks drive. They, oh boy, there's no cups, there's no love here. This is attachment, devil energy. Ew. Look at all the green. They have Magician reverse. This is someone who lacks the ability to create and manifest something. Or they're actually trying to, get them to, if there is a pregnancy, they would definitely try and get them to, end it. This is and then the Death is there. Wait, how old is Emily? You know what I mean? And then, oh my gosh, Madison. No, Maddie, the Pisces. See, sometimes they come through. And what's his name? Steven? And her mom, Jennifer? Now, whether that had anything to do with spiritual charlatan, this definitely, our society knows that this is inappropriate and wrong. But yet, and then to make sure that the secret doesn't come out, there's a desire to betray or end something. This is somebody who is mad. Like, they could even be trying to get a younger person to be part of some weird oh, I don't even want to go there, right? Like I said, there's a chain here. There's a bond with the charlatan and a naughty affair. That's leading to the coffin. I just feel like there's some weird thing. They're planning some type of, they want someone to be outed, if you understand. Like with Magician in reverse, and someone is learning about this, or they're telling someone they want to teach them about their sexuality. Because Ace of Wands can represent, you know, a birth or conception. So like that's what I'm saying. Even somebody getting pregnant and then wanting to get rid of, like, dude, all you have to do is find the true crime thing. There's always I'm like, that's why true crime applies, because the story, that's how we can see it in our worldview with actual real people. So there is a sense of really having faith even regarding this, okay? You do have a King of Pentacles upright, and this coffin, inevitable. This is actually a really beautiful, beautiful thing about rebirth, reincarnation as well. Transformation and facing that. Surrendering. All the greens. Maybe someone's name is green, okay? Or something like this. Or they're wearing a lot of lime green, because even over here into this future energy, the greens. I mean, look at all the deep green. There's green over here. 126 on the clock, Aquarius. Okay. And we had the cloud originally in your third one. And this is something, maybe this is part of your ancestry or your roots. Okay, and maybe this is something that happened to you. I don't know. Or someone in your family. Someone from a church setting. Okay, that's so common. It so sucks. Maybe it's even a relative, a cousin, an uncle, an aunt. I don't know. Someone from a church, or someone doing something like this. These are young people, though. I'm just getting really strongly this is a young person. 131, Aquarius. Is that even birthday? Then we have 13. Huh. Okay, the chain, the devil. 38 and 39. The chain represents the bondage to the physical and the material realm. It symbolizes being a captive servant to life's addictive pleasures that gives a false sense of safety, or the illusion of love over lust. So that's why so this is naive. There is someone being naive, okay, underneath here, cursing themselves. Okay, low vibrational, really focused on money. So this is a younger, naive financially, naive romantically. Confusion about what lust versus love is. Thinking that sex and lusty things means love. Dude, you see that chain? Illusion of love over lust. The chain represents the link that exists between the physical and spiritual body in the form of human temptation, bondage, and the restrictions that are cast upon us. Have you fallen victim to life's savory pleasures that mask themselves as false sense of safety? Are they leading you astray? Are you willing to admit that they are just a dirty trick of lust, an illusion sweeping? Look how crazy it is that I pulled these cards and the chain came up on. Ooh, maybe this is some weird S&M stuff, or bondage. I don't know. Or chaining somebody. Oh, I don't even know. Ugh. We go deep with these, and I split them up because there's only so much we can take at once, right? That's crazy. A dirty trick of lust and illusion sweeping through your somatic senses. Wake up. You know the truth. It's time to accept what you may not want to. The only way to the other side of things is dealing with them. Time to dig deeper and see what the soul is genuinely longing for. Let go of old thoughts and patterns that confine and bind you to the same repeated cycles. 39. Someone turning 39. I also saw 48, like I said, and 49. It's time to break free from the chains of restriction. Stop holding yourself back from what you truly desire and deserve. Do not let what is limited be enough for you. And that is the link that keeps you stuck. Listen to your heart. Listen to your inner voice. It knows what is best for you. Find a new way forward. Hold on tightly and secure a new link. Free from the bondage, you will welcome the indulgent amusement and pleasures of being human. Blend these desires with the divine light within you, accepting the fleeting nature of it all. Know each passing pleasure comes in waves. Remain open to let it leave. Fun is enjoyed for the sheer sake of enjoyment and never a crutch or cover for something missing, avoided, or abandoned. Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm going to break your guys up again, just because I'm really taking my time and reading it for you. All right. And the only one we have in the major arcana is the Magician in reverse, which is not a good sign. And it also leads to, I mean, I see Knave of Wands in reverse with Magician. So it's almost like a younger person just lacks the passion or desire or ambition. Is they're not old enough to even like know what they want to be, who they are. Maybe they're, you know, to actually create and manifest a beautiful life. And so they're very naive and easily taken advantage of. It's not their fault. It's a grown adult person doing something, or even just, I don't know, it just looks that way. I don't like it at all. Yeah, there's no love here with this. This is just lust, just flesh. This person does not love the other person. If they're keeping you a fucking secret, or they're having a secret affair, it's not love. And that's why Venus is spotlighted. Of understanding what that is. Yeah, there's no cups at all here. All right, this Magician in reverse can mean someone was wishing ill upon someone. It could mean this other person could have some sickness inside of them, or illness, literally, and they could be trying to spread it. Ugh. Okay. Magician in reverse says, weakness of will, ineptitude, insecurity, delay, willpower. Their willpower has been applied to evil ends. So that's when I say they're wishing ill upon someone. Evil ends. And then you have the Coffin. And if there is some type of like sexual thing that goes on, clearly it says they're going to try and, you know, want to definitely make sure that any type of like baby that could be conceived is, you know, cleared out, if you know what I'm talking about. Because that would blow their cover, wouldn't it? That would be the irrefutable evidence. Or it's twisted in the way that it's trying to get someone else that they need to take if they're with another person. If it's an affair, then somebody else is already committed somewhere else, right? And that's why there's this betrayal here. I feel like it could have happened like on a vacation, on a trip, on a move, or when you were doing something and you're okay, now this you or them. I know some Aquariuses, and no offense to any, but that they were, yeah. I have read a lot of Libras like that too. I just can't. Or a Cancer sign. I mean, Cancer, Virgo. Huh. Yeah, these ones get frustrating, but we're going to work through it. All right, I'm going to share what these wands say. All these wands, action. And young. 37. A cannon. Oh, wow, the cannons. The canyon is divided into two paths ahead of you. Do you know which one will bring enlightenment? Be strong in your beliefs and seize the opportunity to be fulfilled. Creation, beginning, fortune, start of an undertaking, birth of a child, or an adventure. That's what Ace of Wands says. In reverse, Three of Wands says assistance with an ulterior motive, treachery, cessation of adversity. So they're doing this to get someone to help them do something bad towards another person. Weird. You get what I'm saying here? Three of Wands reverse says that treachery, ulterior motives, this person trying to assist another person. Someone is assisting in this and using lust. The Knave of Wands is young energy. Ugh. Right? Yeah. Indecision and proceeding, resistance, instability, a gossip, and displeasure. All right. That one's deep. I told you we're going to go deep with this, okay? Now we're going to the coffin. Having faith. This give you guidance as well. This person is boastful, a bragger, self-promote, showcases their achievements, possessions, or advantages. This is the person that's having a secret affair. They're probably receiving some type of, material kickback for sleeping around or doing something. Also a spiritual charlatan who acts religious or spiritual. Okay? They're not. They're boastful. They're pride. Pride come before the fall. They're materialistic. They're 122 Aquarius. They could also be Aries, Taurus. They give double Taurus in their chart, or you could. Okay. Seven of Wands in reverse. No longer defensive. Putting down the defenses. No longer blocked. Seven of Cups. 77 again. So someone being 48 or born, or someone could be 77 or Libra, Cancer sign as well. No longer defending or protecting this person and seeing clearly. This person had a lot of options. They were looking at someone as an option. All right. Eight of Pentacles. They don't actually work. Okay. They don't do the work. They don't have a job, but yet they have a whole bunch of material things. And then we do have a King of Pentacles upright. Now for some of you, this is a good loyal friend. This could represent you if you're taking on this King of Pentacles energy. This could be a loyal friend. He's wise and he is good with his... Now, for some of you, it could be someone that is coming through that has passed, showing you and giving you guidance. King of Pentacles is wise with his finances. Maybe you did unblock this person, or this person is no longer defending or protecting because someone sees that there's no other option because this is inevitable. Now, this could also be somebody who has maybe retired and they don't work anymore, but he has a lot of finances. This person doesn't work, who's boastful and bitter. I feel like they're literally getting paid for sex. Or that's the temptation as well. And so it might be clearly, it would be like that these people don't appear to be a couple or be together. That's a secret. But this other person magically will have all of these fancy fucking materialistic things, boasting about it, but they don't have a job and they don't work. So it's like, okay, how are they getting this? Okay, let's go to the coffin first. Inevitable. It's actually a beautiful card, even though it scares people. The coffin is judgment and Four of Swords. So someone needed to heal and getting a second chance and having an awakening. 42, 43, reincarnation, resurrection, other worlds, passageway, even grief. The coffin or the tomb is considered the heart of the sacred womb, symbolizing hope, reincarnation, resurrection, and the return of life. It represents access to the other realms and is symbolic of death being both inevitable and the passageway to something new. And we have the pathway and the passage coming up next. It signifies letting the old pass away and making space for more. You're being reminded to check in with your thoughts and the stories you're telling yourself. Are they serving you or holding you back? Your mood is a telltale reaction of your thoughts. A bad or a sad mood may mean you have moved out of the present moment and are resurrecting feelings from the past. These feelings are helpful and healing if the moment fits the mood, or you are grieving. But if your feelings are being generated from memories that are creating your present and future experiences, it may be beneficial to start an active practice of releasing and healing unseen wounds. The beautiful thing about moods is that they are forever changing and adapting. You have a choice if you want to revisit the past and confine yourself to it, or to create a new future that makes space for a healthier, happier version of yourself. Awareness, compassion, acceptance, release, and healing is the cycle of rebirth in the soul. It is how you grow. Feeling your grief is what allows you to heal. There is no correct timeline for your feelings. So this is maybe somebody... This one is tricky, like I said, definitely, because we do have something weird going on. Maybe that someone did receive some type of inheritance or something, or they're boastful. This is even how they're being caught. There could have been an actual passing away of someone coming forth, right? And grieving, but this person is like also like, it doesn't make sense that they're not grieving. They're out walking around, spending a bunch of money, showing all these things they saw or they bought, they're getting. And maybe there should be a sense of grief. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, they're acting oddly. Self-promotes their possessions. Boastful. I know who this is. I'm like, I know who this is. There's so many of them, aren't there? It's so easy. It's like, wait, which one are you? Are you the Virgo? Huh? Are you the Libra? Are you the Taurus? Are you the Aries? I don't know. But this King of Pentacles is upright for you, you know, so you or them. He is a good, honorable, trustworthy friend, or even a husband. Even if he isn't an emperor, he still is. And I see that as, if he's not at the emperor stage, maybe he's not like the matriarch, like there's still a grandfather around, or there's still, or he's not an actual, like, you know, he could be a brother for someone too. I don't know, but he is an upright, and so this is good. He's an honorable, trustworthy. All right, maybe no longer defending. Maybe you unblocked this person, and because maybe at one point you were in confusion, and you were maybe looking at your options of what to do and how to defend yourself, you know, and you're releasing, feeling defensive. Maybe this is somebody that you used to work with and they quit their job, or they left their job as well, or they passed already and so they're not I don't know. There's something like that. Taurus. Okay, let's see what the Seven of Wands. We do have some cups here. No swords, though. Seven of Wands in reverse, 37. Success, gain, overcoming obstacles and challenges. Okay, that's good. Now Seven of Cups in reverse, say. Determination, desire, strong willpower, a goal nearly attained, intelligent choice, resolution, and desire, and will. So both of those are good signs. Now with Eight of Pentacles, it may be that, like I said, that just somebody, you know, maybe they're done working, or they're quitting that job, or they've retired to something. Because there's also the, you know, understanding, what are you going to do? You spend your whole life just working yourself to death. Or it's like right after somebody retires, then they pass, and they have all of this, you know, they didn't even get to really enjoy what they worked for, you know. I don't know. Okay. Eight of Pentacles in reverse says lack of ambition, vanity, sensitivity, disillusionment, hypocrisy, and intrigue. So with this boastful person too, and this, I mean, this is not going to be a King of Cups or the King of Pentacles, because he is like, it says, know that I stand before you as myself, someone in whom you can trust and treat as a friend, and I shall cherish that faith and be at your side forevermore. A person of character and intelligence, mathematical abilities, loyal friend, reliable in marriage, the successful businessman, wise investments, experience, and successful leader. So this person has this experience, you know? I feel like that's what it is. Like he's made it to a certain, like, like all of these things are good. This one could be someone lost their ambition though, you know, to do that type of work anymore, something like that. But or it could have been the, like I said, I don't know who this is, but this came off with the someone who was also seen as boastful. So we have to look at all of it, right? Especially with the naughty secret. I feel like they're bringing that forth to also see. Aquarius is all right. Let's clear that one out. And that, let's see, what are we on time? 1:46. Yeah. See, I feel like it's best for me to split these. We're going to keep moving on. I will link in the description. It's because I added in Alchemy, so it made it go a little bit longer. Now, the ultimate goal, like I am seeing, long-term outlook, long-term investments regarding your career. And it may be like you've reached a pinnacle of success or something. But there is some acidity, right? And that oil of vitriol. I've never looked up this lion eating the sun, the green lion. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to continue this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 more to work for, to work through. Literally, like I say, this is a whole month energy, okay? And some of it could be from April into May's energy. And I kind of feel like I am splitting it up almost weekly for some of you, because this was your 4th video. So, and they just were getting so long. There was some I did that were 3-hour long, because I was diving deep through these. All right. So I'm going to take a break again. I come back and I will finish this up. I will link it in the description box. That one will be your 5th monthly message. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Aquarius. Bye-bye.